things, speaking particularly to Christian leaders. Anybody who thinks that they have arrived there by virtue of their own capacity is not fit to lead. Anyone who thinks that is not fit to lead, because the whole issue of a calling is so well worded by the Apostle Paul. He says to the people, look, you can boast in whatever you want. I've got more credentials against my name than I'd want to even testify. And he tells you of his tribe, he tells you of his studies and all of that. He says, I count all this thing but refuse. All this thing is garbage, that I may gain the excellency of the knowledge of Jesus Christ. So biblically and scripturally, forget it. Somebody once said to Winston Churchill that he was a self-made man, and Churchill said, you've just relieved God of a very solemn responsibility. So biblically and scripturally, if you think you're a self-made person, just forget that and put that aside. The Bible reminds you again and again that you are where you are in a position of leadership because of the presence of God in your life and His calling. If you go through the New Testament, you'll find the word leader hardly ever comes, but the word servant comes hundreds of times. We are really called to serve. So the second thing I would say to you is, if you are a leader, make sure what you believe. Don't get carried around by the wind of every new doctrine that comes around. Study the scriptures to know what the Bible tells you about life, about meaning, about sacredness, about your eternal destiny, about what God teaches us, about the condition of human beings even at the end of life. All kinds of newfangled theories are coming out. Be careful that you don't get swallowed up by every wind of doctrine. So remain humble. You didn't arrive where you are because of your own skill. Remember that the Word of God tells you you are called there by His grace and by His mercy. Take the Word of God as the truth that you are to believe. And lastly, about that, let me say this. You know, even your voice, even your skeletal makeup, even your muscular build can go like that, just like that. I've met preachers who've lost their voice and cannot speak. Their vocal cords are gone. I battle a lot of back issues, sometimes never sure whether my back is going to make it for another year or so, or for that matter, another day. So everything is fragile and vulnerable. I am not here by virtue of my strength. We are here by virtue of God's call and God's strength. That alone ought to remind us of why we need to be humble. The very voice, the very ability to stand and speak, the very gift of language, the very calling is the gift of God. And if that's not enough to keep us humble, I don't know what will.
We offered a moment of silence for the greatest Christian expositor of our time and the most well-loved Christian apologist. Apologist means defender of defender, no? Christian apologist, Dr. Ravi Zacharias, no? Ito, I want to share a verse with you. Okay, basahin nyo lang to ng simplihan lang natin. Okay? Ready na kayo? Ready na? Okay, sa ito. As long as it is day, we must do the work of Him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. Okay? Okay. So, that's John chapter 9 verse 4. Okay. So, punta po tayo dito sa John chapter 2. Ito po yung wedding sa Cana. Okay? Ayan. Natatandaan niyo po ito? Natatandaan niyo po yung wedding sa Cana? Hindi po yan yung wedding na hindi natuloy, ah. Baka akala nila wedding sa Cana. Hindi po. Natuloy po yan, no? Baka akala nyo hindi yan natuloy. Wedding sa Cana. hindi po. Okay. So, pero okay din yung true love waits, ha? Tsaka yung love struck, okay? Teaches you to wait, okay? Pero itong wedding po ito, natuloy ito, okay? So, yan. Basahin natin. Dear woman, why do you involve me? Jesus replied, my time has not yet come. Okay. Pag-isipan nyo to, ito matagal kong na-realize, inihingi ko kay Lord ko ano ibig sabihin. Una, madalas lang to gamitin na pang dispute. Si Mama Mary tinawag ni Jesus na woman, no? Parang iniisip ko, hindi naman siguro lagi woman tawag niya kay Mama Mary kasi napaka-respectful na anak niya ni Lord, no? Kasi sa Proverbs, 'di ba, yung train up a child in the way he should go, 'di ba? Tapos si Paul, yung mga teachings ni Paul na in line with how Judaism teaches the children to respect their parents. Why would he say such a thing, no? So, ako po, sa tingin ko talaga, lumaki si Jesus na talagang ubod ng galang sa kanyang mga magulang, no? Ang taas ng regards niya sa parents niya. Now, at this time, bakit sinabi ni Jesus na dear woman? Ginalang pa rin niya, pero imbes na tawagin niyang mother, tinawag niyang woman. Okay? Bakit? Bakit? Think about this. This is the reason. The reason is, my time has not yet come. Hindi ko pa oras. Hindi ko pa oras. Ano ba yung pinapagawa sa kanya ni Mama Mary? Mag-public miracle. Public miracle yun eh. Kasi public gathering yun. Alam nyo po, ang isang Jewish wedding, kasi dito sa atin, isang araw lang ang wedding eh. No? Matagal na yung may nag-overnight pa. Hanggang ganun lang. Pero sa kanila, hindi umaabot ng weeks ang wedding. No? Natatandaan ko, meron kami pinuntahan sa probinsya, parang sa La Union ata. 3 days eh. 3 days ang preparation. Ganun, kahit sino dumaan. Parang fiesta, kahit sino dumaan, pakakainin. Ganun. Sa kanila lalo, ganun. So, sa kanila, umaabot ng 1 whole week yung celebration. Tapos, yung mga pumupunta, napaka-generous kasi ganun nga eh. Ano yan? Kulturang East, tsaka kulturang probinsya. Public miracle. Pag nag-public miracle po si Jesus, magiging public na po yung kanyang ministry at yung kanyang identity. Okay? Imposibleng sinabi lang ito ni Jesus out of the blue na wala siyang mabigat na reason na my time has not yet come. In fact, the reason is so heavy on his shoulders that medyo nag-flare up siya, natawag niyang woman si Mary. Okay? Ibig sabihin, he was reminding Mary of who he was. Si Jesus, yung identity niya. Tapos, sabi ni Jesus, my time has not yet come. Why do you involve me in this? Ba't mo ko sinasali? Ba't mo sinasabi sa akin to? Hindi ko pa po panahon, hindi ko pa po oras. Ibig niya sabihin, hindi pa niya oras mag-public miracle. Ibig sabihin, he is working on a limited time frame. Okay? So, eto tinan ko kung okay na yung Nakikita niyo tong verse na to? John 13:30. John 13:30. Tingnan nyo As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out. And it was night. He went out and it was night. Etong buong John 13 na to, dinidescribe yung preparation sa Passover meal. Dinner po yun. Okay? So, for John to have said, it was night, eto, parang ang superfluous naman, ba't niya pa sasabihin it was night, no? Pero, sabi ni John, as soon as Judas had taken the bread, ito yung pinagsawsaw ni Jesus ng tinapay si John, tapos binigay sa kanya. Hindi po yan kape, no? Huwag po kayong mag-guilty kung sinasawsaw ninyo yung pandesal sa kape. Hindi po kayo Judas nun. Sinawsaw po yan sa dip, no? Hindi dun sa juice. So, sinawsaw niya dun sa dip, binigay niya kay Judas. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. Napaka-significant po nitong last phrase na to. And it was night. Natatandaan niyo itong binasa natin kanina? So, eto, John 13. Pag nag-backread ka, umurong ka ng ilang chapters lang, and allow me to remind you, nung sinusulat po nila ito, hindi sila gumagamit ng chapters tsaka verses. Okay? Nakascroll po ito. So, isang buong narrative po ito. As long as it is day, we must do the work of Him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. Sabi ni Jesus sa chapter 9, verse 4, night is coming. Sabi ni John sa chapter 13, and it was night. And right after this night, Jesus was executed. Sabi ni Jesus, night is coming when no one can work. Night is coming when no one can work. Tapos sabi ni John, it was night. Right after this, Jesus was executed. Anong kinalaman niyan dito? Yan, sa John 2:4. My time has not yet come. Jesus knew he was working on a strict schedule, and he is here for a specific purpose, and he has a deadline. He was talking about a deadline. Bakit niya sinabi kay Mary, hindi ko pa panahon? So sobrang intense na tinawag niya si Mary na woman, reminding her na yung purpose ni Jesus dito, hindi lang para maging anak niya, kundi para magligtas, mag-ministry. Kaya lang, yung time niya, hindi pa. At reminding her of Jesus' identity na hindi siya basta tao. Yun yung sinasabi niya, woman. No? Hindi siya basta tao. Parang nakalimutan niyo po yata kung sino ko. Yun yung ibig sabihin nun eh. Parang nakalimutan niyo yata kung sino po ako. Okay? So, hindi ko pa time. Bakit? Ba't sinabing Jesus na hindi niya pa time? Ibig sabihin, meron siyang time. At hindi pa yun. Ibig sabihin, napaaga siya. Dahil sa pag-consider, sa sobrang considerate niya, na nag-miracle siya doon sa sitwasyon natin, napaaga siya. Kasi hindi niya pa time eh. Kasi kung hindi siya kung time niya na yun, di hindi niya sasabihin hindi ko pa time. Sinabi niya hindi ko pa time eh. So, ibig sabihin, nung ginawa niya yung miracle na yun, hindi pa dapat siya gagawa ng public miracle doon. Hindi pa siya dapat magpa-public yung kanyang identity at hindi pa dapat siya magpa-public yung kanyang ministry. Pwede siya mag-private miracle, pero public hindi pa. No? Why? Kasi, think about this if it makes sense. No? Nung nag-public miracle si Jesus, ulitin ko nung nag-public miracle si Jesus, as soon as he did his first public miracle, making his identity public, bumaliktad na yung hourglass. Nag-start na yung journey niya papunta dun sa cross. Intindihan niyo po yung sinasabi ko? Kaya hindi po ito simple. Kaya natawag niya yung nanay niya na woman. Intindihan niyo po? Hindi niya tatawagin si Mary ng woman araw-araw, lalo nung bata pa siya. Woman! Di ba? Ang bait na anak ni Jesus eh. Diba? Pero kasi, bumaliktad na, alam ni Jesus, pag ginawa niya yun, wala nang urungan nun. So I think, conservatively, I think it's safe to say, at least 2 weeks na paaga siya. Sobra ka naman, Ruther. Ibig sabihin, hindi nga bakit niya sasabihin na hindi ko pa time? Ano yun? Nag-inarte lang siya, ayaw lang niya, pilitin niyo muna ako. Pilitin niyo ako mag-miracle, ayoko. Hindi! Sabi niya, hindi ko pa time. Ibig sabihin, may tamang time. At hindi yun. Pero dahil sa sobrang loving ni Jesus, nausog siya, napaaga siya. Tapos, pagdating sa John chapter 9, kita nyo, he had this sense of urgency, nagmamadali. Kailangan, habang nandito pa ako, gawin na natin lahat ng pinapagawa ng nagpadala sa akin dito kasi darating ang gabi na wala na maaagawa. Pagdating sa John chapter 13, sabi ni John, gabi na. Sabi ni Jesus, darating ang gabi. John chapter 9, verse 4. Sabi ni Jesus, darating ang gabi. John chapter 2, sabi niya kay Mary, hindi ko pa time. Nauna, tapos ginawa niya pa rin. Tapos John chapter 9, verse 4, sabi niya, darating ang gabi. John chapter 13, verse 30, sabi ni John, gabi na. Pagkatapos po nun, in-execute si Jesus. Ulitin ko sabi ni Lord, pag dumating yung gabi, wala nang maagawa. Pagdating ng John chapter 13 verse 30, sabi ni John, gabi na. Pagkatapos ng gabi na yun, in-execute si Jesus. Sakto. Nakuha ninyo? Nung una, alam ni Jesus kung kailan siya dapat mag-uumpisa. John chapter 2, alam niya kung kailan dapat yung umpisa niya. Sabi niya, hindi ko pa time. So, alam niya yung umpisa niya. Tapos, John chapter 9, alam niya kung kailan siya matatapos, dating katapusan. John chapter 13, sabi ni John, time na. Time na. Bakit po yan ang sinabi ko? Okay? So, pangatlong araw na po natin binibigyan ng tribute si Dr. Ravi Zachariah, 74 years old. Nearly 50 years in the ministry. Ang dami po niya naabot na tao. Ang last words daw niya, sabi nung team niya sa India, ay keep on preaching Jesus. Babasahin ako. I'm gonna end with this. Psalms 139, verse 16. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Lahat po tayo may deadline. So gawin na natin. Gawin natin yung pinapagawa sa atin ni Lord. Huwag na kayong mahiya. Okay? So gawin na natin habang may time. Kasi darating ang gabi, hindi na tayo makakagawa. Okay? Dapat pagkatapos ng gabi na hindi ka na pwedeng gumawa, ready ka na humarap kay Lord. Tapos sasabihin niya sa'yo, well done, my good and faithful servant. Share the joy of your master. Okay? So yan po ang ating lesson for tonight. Okay, so lahat po tayo may timeline, may umpisa, merong katapusan. So matuto po tayo rin sa buhay ni Dr. Ravi. No, natapos niya lahat ng tatapusin niya at na-ready niya lahat ng kailangang i-ready bago siya tinawag ni Lord pauwi. Okay, so ayun po, maraming salamat po.
God is able to bring you to a place of where He wants you, and the best way to get there is to be an imitator of Christ, not a manufacturer of some sense of celebrity in yourself. If you are humble, God will use you. If you are arrogant, He will know how to break you.